Hello everybody, we are back again with a live stream. I did not announce it. Sorry for that, it's so busy here. And let's see if everything works. We have a very annoying bass sound. So let's make that a little better. I shut off the chorus, which makes it a bit more relaxing on the stereo image. And I make it a bit more darker. And it's a bit too long, so I can change the envelopes. It's a bit too short at the release. Maybe a bit less EQ. That's better, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we have some people in the chat room. Okay. Yes, okay, we have some people in the chat room. Can you hear me, guys? Everything is nice. Yeah, it looks a bit different behind me because yeah, what is happening is that my mini moog is gone because it's I'm fixing it. So here you see part of a mini moog, which is the key. And what is going on is that okay, let's stop the music. Is that the mini moog, if you press down, it lands on a little rubber. They call it a key brushing. So it lands on a piece of metal, and around the metal is a little plug-like thing, which is from rubber, kind of rubber, silicone type of thing. And in the age, it becomes very hard. So when I played my mini moog, you heard clack, 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 and now it's getting its new brushes, and it's a bit of work, but of course this old lady needs to have sometimes its maintenance. So I hope you all are well, and we are very busy, and we have some good news today. We are I can show you a little bit more about SubBoomBass-2, and maybe tell a bit about the process which I'm currently in together with John in adding the new stuff, but also doing some little changes to the user interface, which popped up in me as an idea. And so it's pretty a very extensive update for SubBoomBass-2 with a new range of samples, but also granular, which is very interesting, will be added to it. We have the MPE, so you could play also the MPE controller type of thing, although it makes not as much sense with SubBoomBass because it's monophonic mainly for basses. But you have 4 voices if you want to be polyphonic. It's also could be polyphonic. And we have some new presets. Yeah, today we have Sanguinea Project, hopefully I pronounced it correctly, did send some BLADE-2 presets. And he told me that the original Blade, he found hard to create the presets, and now he did send in a very nice bank. I will upload it to the download section of the info section from YouTube, so you can download it. I had not much time to play around with it, but the sequence sound you hear now, that's not the one. is from this bank. It's called Sequence 14. Some very nice sequence sounds. So let's see if I'm not sure if Sanguinea is also in the chat room. I'm not sure because I could not reply to him that I would play around the presets. Oh, SubBoomBass-808. No, I mean rename it SubBoomBass-808 would be to limit it down. There are plenty of other people who have only this 808 sound, and I think it's much more versatile in the way it can be used. So let's first talk about BLADE-2. So or maybe we should wait. That could be an idea. Or if Sanguinea pops in, we can play it a bit later on, and then also tell a few things, because what I always discuss with the Sanguinea Project with Heinrich is that sometimes some presets need some little tweaks, and most of the time he agrees to improve the presets. Of course, I will check the volume, the tuning, and the tagging. And yeah, one thing is what popped up in one of his presets. For instance, here, lead 12. Okay, here we go to lead 12, and listen to what happens. I will shut down my keyboard, and maybe you can notice this when I play it. You hear a kind of click, and this click is a thing which is logic, which happens in the filter, because once I hit the keyboard, the envelope starts to play. So the envelope is attack, decay, sustain, and release. It controls how your volume shape will be. And there is the amp release, which is, you see, is a bit longer. So what happens if there is a envelope active on the filter and the release is set to 1 millisecond, it shuts down the frequency of the filter very rapidly, and this generates this little pop. Hear that? Shut down my keyboard. So if you're working with synthesizers, you need to be thoughtful about the fact that if you have a setting in the amp section, that there are other envelopes active on other parts. In this case, filter, but could also be pitch. So to get this removed, I simply need to increase the release of the filter, and then the pop will be gone. So now you see it's gone. So it's more classic lead sound. So I would save this one. So now you see I increased the release, because the release controls this cutoff frequency, and if it shuts down too fast, you get this plop. So it was originally this one. Okay, I need to shut down my microphone so you don't hear my clacking of the keyboard. And I open the release, and the preset is okay. So these little things happen, and this could be by accident, or maybe while doing a sound you don't notice it yourself, a kind of sound creation black spot, as they call it. So that's why I always check the presets on these particular things. So I would save it now, and another thing is, for instance, what I heard in another preset was a sequence sound. It's called Thank You GB, sequence 16. Not sure what the Thank You GB means, but there's also quite some clicking. Well, and here it's the case that the release are both set very short, and this generates again clickings, because the envelopes in our products are extremely fast. So you always have, it goes picture that the volume is 100% and the release is 1 millisecond, and then it goes down from a 100% position to 0 in 1 millisecond. So simply increase it in the filter. A lot of the clicks are gone now, but you see sometimes because some of the notes are a bit faster, it is a bit of choking in its own notes. And one thing what you could do is making the sound more percussive. So one way to do is to remove the sustain from the amp. Then it's already better. Less clicks also, but mainly the clicks come over. So when I go back to the original, maybe this one is on purpose that he wants to have this click. So I will talk about it with Sanguinea Project. So what I could do is, what I would do with this preset, but that's my personal taste, I would increase the release, go down with the sustain, maybe also here. So I would save it like this more as a sound. So what I do, I save this one as save as sequence 16, the Rob edit. Okay. So let's see how it plays with the music. That's also very handy to play sequence together with music. Nice. So I have this Rob added to this sound. And of course, yeah, if you're creating a sound, sometimes you work many hours on a sound and then you don't hear certain things anymore. So I save it. In the meantime, I check the chat room. Hey, he is there. Hi. Hello, Sanguinea. Cool that you are here. Okay. Yeah, I hope you could follow. Good evening, everybody. I see Sanguinea Project is in the chat room, and let me know if you could follow my thing on the lead number 12. I corrected this lead, so because it had in the original preset the release of the filter was 0, so you had a click. So what I did is open the release a bit more so that the filter really cuts down earlier than it should be. And that's something you need to keep in mind if you change the envelope of the amplifier section, which has the last word. I mean, the amplifier, if you have a slow attack or fast attack, there's always a connection because this is not the only envelope, but this one of the filters also active. And it well could be that in a modulation matrix, there's another envelope active on another parameter. So keep that in mind. So let's play a few of these presets, and I will feedback on Sanguinea Project on the presets. Here he uses the chord memory, which is now in the play mode. Here you see the play mode, and he uses 1, 2, so 8. So if you with this presets, it's wise to hit one note because essentially the engine does for you are playing already 8 notes. So -3, 9, semi, 16. So it's a very big chord. And yeah, what you could do is maybe a bit strumming. That's something which I like to do because normally if you play a chord, it's always a bit of strumming. And If it's too much, it's also nice. So some chord sounds. I think this one was also nice. Yeah, and here we have the same problem. Chord 7. When you hear that it again has a click. So here the filter release is again shutting down. So I open this a bit. And now it's gone. So these are little things that can happen while creating the sound. So I will save this one. We will of course add this to the factory patches, but before we can do that, I need to check the tagging in the manager if everything has a. And see, he already started here with some taggings, but I always need to check them. And so let's play some sounds here, some bass sounds. Typically BLADE-2. Okay, what do we have? We had pad sounds. Nice pad sound. So I just played it briefly, so I'm playing just from the fast things, which this one builds up. Yes. Yeah, and then we have some, excuse me, some other pads. And this one I would mention, it's not really a pad. I would rename it to a synth sound because it has the attack sound. It sounds a bit like a koto. I'm not sure. Yeah, the release is also again very short. It's better to have it a bit open to avoid a little clicking. This you don't hear it as good as here in the other presets. So yeah, there's always something which can be checked. This one uses the gator. I haven't heard that much presets using the gator. Here it is. I see that we could improve a little bit the graphics here, but it's a bit hard to read. Yeah, there's always something to improve, isn't it? And then, but that's on our side. We have some cool presets, some cool sequence sounds. And of course, what you can do, depending on your own song, you always can change here the melody. If you think, okay, it should be a different melody, you can tweak it here. Change this. I'm not sure if it's in the right key. You think, okay, well, it's a nice sequence, but it's not really my kind of melody. Then what you could do is simply you select first Arp A, and then you go to key entry, and then I think this I played it in this little beat in the background is F minor. But I need to play the sequence from C, otherwise I'm transposing already. So I see now you see the here you see the notes entering, and simply play some notes. Let's see how that works. So now I can play it. And then maybe it fits in your music. There's some nice changes, the XY. You really hear it change over time. Another thing, of course, what I mentioned in many live streams, toggle around with the envelopes to make the sound maybe fit a bit better in this your particular own piece of music. So here it's totally different now, slow attack and a shorter decay. And this was the original one. So just by changing the melody in the arpeggiator and adjusting a little bit of the amplifier envelopes, you really have a... Oh, sorry, I need to click on Edit to have the edited version. So this is the edited version. So that's cool. I mean, a preset is also a starting point, and so you can change the sequence. And if you have a nice layout, of course, if you save your song, it's saved in the song, but you also can save the preset again to have it as a new preset. Okay. Okay, so I'm checking the chat room. So a few more. So it's a nice sequence. A very long melody. Cool. I believe that I played that one. You see a little bit of changes. Oh yeah, that's the best thing you can do. Work with the amp envelopes to adapt the sound to your song. That's one of the biggest thing you can do if you have simply using presets. Changing the amp envelope and of course the filter envelope amount and the cutoff frequency. Okay, another one. What we had more, the chords, the pads we had. Yeah, so I will upload this one. It will be still beta because I need to check the presets. I will discuss with Sanguinea about some of the presets, if it's okay if I correct them a little bit. Maybe it's on purpose that things are the way they are, so we always check that out. But very, very cool presets. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy them already in this beta stage. Getting dirty, this one, isn't it? Yeah, and by the way, we had a very nice review of BLADE-2. We had a score of 10 out of 10, and the link to this review is in the info section of YouTube. Okay, so what we are doing now currently is working on SubBoomBass-2. And I want to tell you a bit about the workflow, because what will change in the future is also things like this. So let's close BLADE-2. So I figured out that in the easy page, so this is what I sent then to the graphic designer, is that in the easy page, these little boxes are very small and we have room to show the whole name of the presets. These are little things which slip sometimes when you're creating the first time the product. Then simply it slips because you have to do so much things. So this is a little change we do, but then there's more. So then in the FX section, there's oops, come back. In the FX section, we improve it also a little bit. We put FX1 and FX2 on the right side, bypass here. And if you have the split mode inside SubBoomBass in the filter, then you also can split the FX, and the split button here only appears if you have split active in the filter. So, and also here, we made the menu bigger. And let's compare that now to the original SubBoomBass. Where is it? Here it is. Here you can see that now, if you go here and you see SubBoomBass, you see that's a very small type. And that has to do with the fact that we had to place this split thing here. You see split, and then split appears here. And now I thought, yeah, maybe we can do this a little bit different and make that the FX type is bigger. And then, so these are things which pop up now. And so you see here, this will be bigger display of which FX is used, a type of FX. Bypass is for all the, both the FX are on board. And then you see FX1 and FX2 will be on the right side. This is still a mock-up, by the way, because here on the right side, we also have oscillator 2 with the button. And filter 1 is there. Now, of course, you can put on off. So I thought, hey, this oscillator 2 should be the same with the FX here. So these are things which we are working on, besides of some other stuff, which I will show. Then we have a very different layout. And this is again a mock-up because we have more samples. I also changed the layout of the main oscillator. So let me show you what we have now. Okay. So SubBoomBass oscillator looks now like this. Here you have the waveform. Below it you have this little thing for the waveform shown. And then suddenly I saw, hey, filter has the filter type here. Maybe an idea to move the waveform up here. So I start moving around. That's what I will do with a very simple graphic program. I move around to do copy and paste. And so that's why it's called a mockup. It's really a copy and paste thing. So in the next version, which we hope to release early February, you will see that the waveform you can is bigger box where you see the waveform or the sample. It goes with a panel line to the waveform. It has up and down arrows. I did it simply by drawing them, so it doesn't look that great. And then you see the filter is also bigger, filter menu. And what is new is that the grain, we have granular. And once you have granular, you have different parameters. And if you have a sample and you click granular, then you see that this appears. So here you see size, length, and random. This is the 3 parameters for granular. And if you would have in oscillator 1 also granular, it changes from PWM speed to this granular stuff. So these are things which we are working on. And sometimes the whole graphic design, sometimes people think, yeah, well, it's much work. Is decoding much work? Yeah, well, sometimes, especially with John, it's very fast in coding. Sometimes we spend more time on the layout, the graphics, and where things should position. It's really a kind of puzzle. And this puzzle is never ready on one moment. There's always something. Yeah, you have a trillion options you could do. So this is a little bit of a background of what we're working on graphic-wise. And of course, I can show you already a few things because graphic-wise already some things change. You see here the sequencer, that one is ready to go now. That is finished. So you see here, this increased in size. Here, this section, we have a playing displayed here. You see ratcheting is added. So this one is already ready to go. Isn't that cool? So Ratcheting is already possible now in this version. And you see also here in the upper section, just like we have with BLADE-2, we have a control menu, and in the next version you can set your user interface size to 100%, 125, 150 and 200%. And you can also check for updates. So if you click here, it check on the home page if you have the latest version. And and this little 3 icon, this control menu, will appear in all of future updates. So we started with that with BLADE-2, but it also will appear and then very soon in SubBoomBass-2. Now let's go to this ratcheting. Well, okay, let's go to its sequence bank. So go to the manager, sequence preset, simply pick something. It's called tomato soup. So of course a joke. So let's see if we can ratcheting. You see down here, you can see ratcheting you can put on, and then you could say ratcheting 2 on this one. It's not that really particular good sound for it, so I could pick here a different waveform. Oh yeah, and you see you have also different waveforms now. You see Vox percussion. So maybe a weird sequence is more a joke. Okay. Sequence A, let's see if we can do here ratcheting. It's a bit too loud. Let me see if I can change that. Oh yeah, for some reason. Is there maybe a bug? I'm editing and something is not changing. Okay, let's go to another one. So I'm messing up, picking the wrong presets. Okay, let's try ratcheting here, if that sounds okay. Okay, so that's better. It's better, and ratcheting is nice if there is a note behind it, I notice. So that's more. Now it works. Let's see if it's. Oh, it's playing a sequence. Okay. So I'm shutting down now the sequence. Give me a second. Okay. So now it works. Still not a very exciting. Yeah, you see, if I change again the amp section, and now you hear the ratcheting. So what we have additionally is that you can have 2 times playing A without ratcheting, and then with registering. Okay, now I'm butchered again. So now it's without, and now it gets with it. Or you say, okay, take velocity. So if I play soft, oh no, I need a bit bigger. So now it doesn't do ratcheting. I'm gonna play harder. It adds the ratcheting. So it's a taiko. I can pick here a different sample. And it's oscillator 2 active. Then I need to pick oscillator 2 chord. So I'm picking just another one. Yeah, it's that's maybe now while doing this, an idea pops up, because now each time you need to go here for selecting a another waveform. That's a bit. Maybe we can add in some way a plus and minus. That's of course very hard because there is essentially right mouse. Yeah, that's right mouse brings up this menu. So that will be tricky to have a plus and minus so that you can pick, go one sample up. That will be interesting. I need to discuss that with John. Maybe an idea pops up. So ratcheting is new, and what is also new is that, yeah, now you see sequence A, B, C, and D. So let's go to another preset. Yeah, XY split. Then the split means that there is a split in the keyboard. So it's on the, this is C1, C2, C3. Then above C3, essentially it's the same layout, only it plays sequence A. If I play here, sequence A. If I play here, it plays sequence B. And you see it updates here in the sequence. This is split mode. Sequence A. And of course you can edit, you can pick here, edit, and then you can edit sequence A. Even if you are, now it jumps over. So this is the split mode. Then we have the top selection, and top selection essentially means is that A, B, C, D. You see, A, B, C, D. So you don't see a note, but the upper notes are, so C6 will be sequence D. So you see here sequence D. The of course I need to play it otherwise. So now sequence A is essentially A5, then you have A sharp 5 is sequence B, and then this is B5, which is sequence C. So it was the top, this is what they call top select. It's the 4 top notes in your keyboard determine what is playing. And then we have here, this to play mode is this, and then we have of course pattern. And once pattern is selected, you see here it goes to pattern. It's just like a drum computer. First it plays this, and then this, and then this, and then you have a grid essentially. And even there you can adjust the volume and the tuning, so you could tune again. So it's a very extensive sequencer. And okay, let me show you maybe a sequencer inside of it. Yeah, this one has a sequence. Sequence B, sequence A, sequence B. So maybe it's another one where, as an example, so yeah, so it's a bit more overview. You have this playing, what is playing. These are the different play modes of the sequencer. So you can have a single sequence, sequence A, B, C, and D. Make a split A, B, so the keyboard, and split A, D. Then you have 4 octaves with 4 sequences. First octave is sequence A, you see it here. Second octave, sequence B. Third octave, sequence C, and so a lot of options. And of course we have a command, which is down here, where you can say copy sequence. Okay, then it needs to pop up. And you go to sequence C, and then you do paste. So that's how it works. Okay, let's see the chat room, because I'm talking. Yeah, there will be new filters. New filters inside, let me see. Inside SubBoomBass-2, yeah, sure. It will have the zero latency filters. So when I go to a bass preset, the sound, we have here new are the low pass 12 dB. Z stands for zero latency. So they have a different sound. So if I go to the normal 1224 dB, see, whole different sound. It's more brighter, different taste to it. Although it is also a very stark resonance. So for TB3 or 3 type of stuff may be cool. So we have these type of things inside of it. Let me see if I find a sequence just to give it a try. Oh, here it is. Very deep. Let's do another filter type. So this the zero latency. Not so okay. Okay, let's go to zero latency. It's far more dirtier, especially with high resonance. Yeah, and then there's a new thing which is called post saturation, which is after the filter. Okay, bypass. Out of the beat. I don't know how it came, but you see it's a lot aggressive. So that's also a new feature that we have in the distortion. The other ones are pre-filter, but the post-saturation is what you see, for instance, in BIT, in the amp section. You see also distortion, and it's on voice level, so it's... That's better. The melody is not good for this one. It's too, I don't know what it is, but it's not okay. But that's new, also new filter. Yeah, there was a question in the chat room about the sequencer to extract that. Yeah, the problem only is that the free row is not taken over, and also the changes to the waveform. So if you have a wave sequence, like different waveforms pop up, it's not in this MIDI file. So it only would have the notes and with a given thing played. So, but of course I can discuss this with John to have this in the command menu to have a extract MIDI from this sequence. So that will be an option. But then you miss because then it would sound like this, because if you have here the oscillator on set, it uses the setting which is here, and okay, because each step can have its own waveform. Well, same. So you hear, okay, same as set. So don't hear the other waveforms popping up. So it will be then still it's orchestral drum used here together with an oscillator. You wouldn't say it, but it's orchestral drum. And if the wave sequence will be active, this one will be doing. So it's a different one here. Yeah, and then we have, of course, in the new version, new range of samples, 128 new samples. Let's go to, so about the MIDI file thing, I will ask John. I think it's possible, but it doesn't put everything in the right order. So, so here I have used so this is also something you see. Oscillator 1 uses different waveforms for each step, and even what is also the case, the free row here is to use to control the reverb. So the get a book. So the main waveform is an AG, and the other ones are from the vocal things. And then oscillator 2. So it's just a testing sequence. So let's play a few of these new samples and things what you can do. So here you see already popping up the granular stuff. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Tabla testing. This is a very dry sound, of course, but you see we have in the original SubBoomBass-2, it ends with sample 3, and the last sample there was xylophone. Yeah, and now we have these sounds. And you might think, oh, what is cool on this to have this, but just to show you, if I go one deeper, I pick an oscillator. Let's make it take another waveform. Okay, 1 second. I need to have the square. Oh no, I need to do it the other way. And that's also a feature which is still there. I can say swap oscillator 1 with oscillator 2. Okay, then now this one is in sample 2. Cool. If you have here in the menu, we have many features. In the label of this oscillator, you can do some cool stuff, which I just did. So I swapped oscillator 1 with oscillator 2. Oscillator 2 has this one. So it's a tambourine dropped in a box. That's what happened essentially. But if you combine that, and I would say, okay, we go a split mode here in the filter. So oscillator 2 goes to filter 2, which is here. There I simply would take, well, nothing. Just keep it bypass. But I also do split inside here. And then I could use, or maybe not split. Let's do it. So I take here a stereo delay. And the second one, I use the reverb. So. Now it's already getting interesting. And now I pick oscillator 1, which goes to the filter. And here I pick a filter type. Simply. Now you have something for a game, weird. So the oscillator 1 makes this deep sound, and you also could use sub. Let's see. That will be too deep. So if I go here, it's better without the. I can do legato, and portamento. Do some. 1 second. Yeah. Oh, with mono mode. Let's do this with mono. Yeah, cool. And that's what the whole concept of SubBoomBass-2. Of course, it's for the good basses, classic basses for urban music, but also cool for other stuff. And that's really, with the new samples, it opens a whole, how they call it, a rabbit hole for new sounds. Serial killer movie. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Hugo, that would be interesting. Then different waveforms, that would be selecting the parameter data. I need to check that out. So you would have a MIDI file and an additional one, which would be parameter data. So yeah, see, this is a drop. So when already some years ago, I recorded all kind of percussion drums with a not John Iris, but John Evers. He's a drummer, percussionist, and he dropped this this one when he did the beat ring. He dropped it, and I said, okay, that was also a nice sound. So in between the recordings, I also listened to other things, and but there are more samples. So for instance, there is also so it starts in sample 3. After that, there will be the new ones for you. let's see. Beat ring affix, which is cool, isn't it? I need to save this one. Save preset as beat ring bass. Yeah, you never know. It's sometimes you have it just fiddling around and you have some cool sounds. Or what I also did, vocal percussion, some weird sounds with. Yeah, and then we have the option. So let's shut down bypass. Rain roll. Chord sting. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I also added a choir. So here we have the male choir. Because it's focused on bass, it's really for playing. So really making some nasty. Yeah, that's a dirty choir, isn't it? So I need to say this one also. Save preset as. Sometimes when you just play, it's just like writing a song. Sometimes the songs you write in a very short period are the best one. Dark voice bass. So then we have yeah, it's very nasty. But we have more, and you see, I still need to tune them because some of the new range of samples are not yet tuned. So what I need to do then, and that's how I do this. You see tabla testing. Then you see I simply pick a for instance, if you go to the tabla here, they should be tuned now. Nice, I hear really a nice bass. So you could use it as a bass. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. No, I need to see what it's a bit out of tune, but that's maybe of the because the tablet has a kind of pitch glide. So, well, we just simply try it out. Okay, low pass filter. No, let's try another tabla. yeah, all kind of tabla sounds which are tuned. And then we have some additional samples. I did again tune the 808 again, but made the loop point a bit different. So that will be nice for the people looking for a tuned 808. Let's see where it is. Sample 4. These are all new ones. So. Okay. So very deep. And even a tuned EDM kick. And if you put on the post saturation, it's even getting a bit hard style. Sorry. Also a bit of distortion on the 808. So yeah, I put also, because you have the wave sequence, some snares. Oops, hitting the wrong button. So some new samples, this also. Yeah, still it can be very interesting for some, oops, again. I pick this time the wrong thing. So tabla, and then vocal percussion. All kind of.
Out, out.
You could combine that one with a with the 808. Let me see, where is it again? So all kind of percussion sounds. This one should be one of the. So yeah, vocal percussion combined with the 808. So endless possibilities, and then you still could say use the sub-oscillator. And even nice, isn't it? I should save this one also. Save preset as Vox Bass. So plenty of options. I will be very busy, and also Jamal will be very busy with creating new presets for SubBoomBass-2. It's not only adding the samples, but what you can do with it. I mean, combining two samples together. This granular stuff. Oh boy, it will be an amazing update. It's so you see, granular you can use here. Depends sometimes on the. Get some weird sounds. Okay, guys. Yeah, it's I'm a bit over time, and I did not check because you see I'm again in flying around doing all kind of stuff. But maybe that's the fun part too. I had Heinrich from Sanguinea mentioned that he likes that I play around and simply work around in the synthesizers. And is it easy to develop? What do you mean? Is it easy to develop? You mean what? The granular or something else? That's the question. Yeah, by the way, I received another demo. We will end, of course, with a demo of Tom. Tom already made another one using Punch 2, BLADE-2, bit, his guitar through XY transfer. So that's cool. It's about time scratching. Yeah, well, we already had that in the granular. We already had that in Punch 2. And it's not always useful in the for every sample. Depends. It really depends. So yeah, John did a marvelous job on that again. So hopefully we have it out somewhere early February. But of course, yeah, currently now the only thing I need to do is tune the samples, and so of course this one doesn't have a tuning. So all kind of vocal samples. It's like a bass drum, this. Only I hear, I click. And that's a bug which John needs to fix, because then it's not 100% precise ending with the sample. So it starts really on the, it's one lane of samples, and John has simply the start points. So that I need to... Yeah, so again, to show you beat ring bass. Yeah, you see, it's simple by playing around. Ah, cool, isn't it? Or what I use this one. Yeah, really dirty. Yeah, yeah, this little click you heard in the sample, that's an error, because there is a good fade out on the sample, but normally, but that's clever from John. That makes the whole system faster. He put all the sample after each other, and at a given point, it plays from that sample. But if there's a little 1-bit shift, you have this little click. So there's a little thing John needs to do. It's okay. Yeah, I end with another piece of music by Tom. Okay, let's see. He did email this to me. Okay. Sorry for my flying things here. So sorry, I need to check it out. I need to select it because okay. Oh, that is okay. That is annoying. I'm in war with the Ontvangen. Okay, that's better. Oh boy, so many mails. And now I lost my... Maybe I should press home. Ah, and Tom calls it Good Karma Coming to You. It's called Netherlands Swing, and it is, of course, very funky. That's what you can expect from Tom. So here it is. I will play it, and then I hope to see you guys next week in the live stream. Maybe we already have some more things to show about SubBoomBass-2. Maybe already some new presets where I can show you wave sequences. And you see, a little idea popped up while doing the live stream about in the wave sequence to be able to do plus and minus, so that you don't have to open each time the menu. That's something John definitely is able to do. So stay safe, and I'm checking for the last time the chat room, and enjoy the music from Tom, Netherlands Swing.